The auto industry, a topic I have covered for so long now. By so long, I mean like a year. Today it's time for me to list my grievances. Call me Martin Luther, because today we are going to be going through every single thing, not everything, but the major issues I have with the car industry, and I bet you will agree. And if there's a car industry exec or person, watch this video, take out your notebook, and take out your notepads, because some of these are pretty controversial. Some of these really are not, and you should really be paying attention, because by the end of this video, let me know what your grievances are, what the changes are. So let's get started to the fun part and not just staring at this random graphic that I've thrown up on the screen, which is probably AI. And the first one is lots of lug nuts. Guys, no car, unless it's a heavy-duty truck, needs more than 5 lug nuts, maybe 6. Okay, no, but granted, before I say that, I can already see you going down to the comments, well, the Chevy Silverado HD needs all those 8 lug nuts because it's hauling to... Fine. Heavy-duty vehicles like the Chevy Silverado 2500, fine. Those can have 8 lug nuts. Everything else, the Chevy Traverse, and Chevy loves to do this. You know damn well that it does not need 6 lug nuts, right? They don't make a damn difference. The only reason they do that is to look pretentious, to look off-roady, to look, oh, this car is so powerful, it can't survive on the dainty little 5 lug nuts. It's so annoying. Riddle me this, GM and Nissan with the NV 2500. Okay, riddle me this. If a V8 Toyota Tundra and basically every single Ford Transit ever made can run on 5 lug nuts, why do you need 6? The answer is they don't. They're just being pretentious. And you want to know what Ford does with the Transit, with the really big Transits that haul a bunch of stuff? You want to know what they do? They add another lug nut. Okay? It's crazy. And I'm specifically talking about vans here. Vans are not the type that do a lot of towing, right? Most of the capacity is inside the van. That's different for trucks, all right? So the Nissan NV 2500 gets less of a pass than GM does with the Silverado 2500, because the Silverado 2500 is actually going to be used to tow. The van is not. It does not need, 19,000 lug nuts. Okay? It doesn't need that. Also, speaking of lug nuts, cars shouldn't have 4 lug nuts either. And I'm even talking about the Toyota Yaris and the Mitsubishi Mirage. I think we can all agree that 4 lug nuts just look ugly. I mean, these are 2 cars. One of them is the SS, and all the car guys, oh, I'd rather have the SS. If you're just a plain Jane person, there's no difference. They're both the LT, right? And you have an option between the 4 lug nuts and the 5 lug nut model. Which one are you going to take? Even if imagine they have the same wheels, just different lugs. Which one would you take? You'd take the 5 lug nut ones because they look nicer. If they're being shown on the outside, okay? If it's behind a hubcap, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is 5 is a much more aesthetically pleasing number than 4, so you might as well just switch them over to 5. And you want to know, a lot of people say, well, Sloth, that doesn't make any sense because the rotor, the wheel attachment thingy is small and that way it can't fit 5. Yes, it can. Do you know how many different bolt patterns there are out there? How many different types of lug nuts there are? They were able to do it with the Cobalt. Okay, if they were able to do it with the Cobalt, they can do it with every other car, even the Mitsubishi Mirage, okay? They can do it. Trust me, they could if they wanted to, and they don't, and that's slightly ever so annoying. Here's the effect again. This is the Nissan Kicks. One of these has 4 lug nuts, one of them has 5 lug nuts, again proving that they can in fact put 5 lug nuts on a car when they want to. They are the same generation. It's just a facelift. Which car would you rather have? It's not the 4 lug nut one, okay, car companies? Also, seriously, those hubcaps suck. The point of a hubcap is that it covers up the wheel underneath to make it look pretty. If you're going to make it look stringy and crappy, I see more of the wheel than I do the hubcap. That should not be the case, okay? Anyway, moving on, we've talked about lug nuts too much, but seriously, this thing, TSPMO, this drives me nuts. Literally, you get that hilarious. This is by far the most annoying thing, and the most controversial too. Dodge. All of it. I cannot stand Dodge. I just can't stand them. And I'm going to get you to agree with me by the end of this video, alright? Look at these 2 cars, alright? You have a Toyota Camry XLE V6, and then the base V6 Dodge Charger from that same year, from 2010, right? Which one do you think is faster? The boring old mom's Camry, or the cool American muscle Charger? Rah! It's the damn Camry, and the Camry's going to last 90 million miles more than the Dodge could ever dream of. And this is what I see people doing this all the time. They buy these stupid base trim Dodge Chargers and this bullshit. They buy it from like 10 years ago. Oh, this is great. It's just as good as a new one. It's just as good as the Hemi. No, it's not. They suck. suck. Do you know? Okay, and I don't think people quite get the ratio. Do you know how many like gigantic, cool SR, like all those nice Dodge Chargers are out there? Compared to the shitty, cheap base model one, like I don't even know what they call it, the ST or SRT or whatever they call it, it's like 19 to 1. It's always the cheap ones. It's like, guys, I could smoke you in my Venza. I mean, really. I mean, and it's not that, okay, car companies have the right to make bad cars. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it's really annoying when car companies market themselves as the be-all, end-all of sports, when actually their base level cars, which most people are buying, really ain't that good. Another peeve, alright, this is a Mitsubishi Mirage. It's a cheap car, and there are just things about it that make it look cheap. The 4 lug nuts, but especially, is the door handles. They're the cheap parts bin, 90s, ugular, like ovular, matched with the body, grabbed from under, just garbage. I mean, they just make you feel like you're in some, 90s Camry, just this old, dated piece of crap car. Except, wait a minute. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Those are from a 2024 Dodge Challenger. I mean, do you know how often the Mitsubishi Mirage gets flanked for its door handles? I don't know, like once a year. But you want to know how many times a Dodge Challenger gets flanked for its door handles? Never. Now, I get it. It's a muscle car, right? You don't want a luxury upholstered interior. You don't want expensive bits. You just want that muscle. You just want the engine in the front and some sort of body that you can sit in around it. Sure, but also, and also, it's staying towards the heritage. You just want a cheap body. Well, may I remind you, they didn't have that shit either. The historic models, they didn't have those kind of door handles, except for maybe, like, the Trans Am, like, the older models, newer models. Like, I mean, guys, can we just figure this out? And let me tell you something, okay? Don't even get me started on the build quality issues. These people, they can't build anything. They can't figure anything out. There's delamination of the screens. The bottom of the cup holder's chipped. If I got into a 2010 Toyota Camry versus that Dodge Charger, I know that the Charger is going to be absolutely strapped, thrashed, chipped, delaminated, falling apart, crumbling, flaking, dusting, because their cars are just built like absolute shit. Now, the only excuse for this type of wretched, disgusting build quality is, well, it's a fast car, right? So, and I completely agree with that. You don't go into Porsche's a bad example. BMW's a bad example. You don't go into a Bugatti to get heated and cooled seats and rub your feet on the floor mats like a Mercedes and go, oh, this car is so nice. And you don't go into a Mercedes to floor it and get 2.3 seconds of 0 to 60, right? So you want to know what? I'll accept that. All you want is a big engine. You just want an interior surrounding it. The cases where I won't accept that is their economy cars. Not only do they build the Charger and Challenger like this, they build every other car that they build this way. And that's why they're worthless, okay? Dank Pods once said it was like engraving on iPods. He said, they're not worthless, they're just worth less. I disagree with that in this case. Dodges are essentially worthless. And unless it's the Charger or the Challenger, even the base ones, because you can convince a 16-year-old to buy anything. It's ridiculous. And when you see the price comparison between, like, a 2016 Dodge Dart and, like, a 2016 Honda Civic, blows it out of the water. Not even just a Dodge Dart and, like, just a Honda Civic. Corolla, Volkswagen, what other car companies made them? GM! I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, look at the stark comparison. We've got $17,000 compared to $6,000. Granted, these are all high mileage ones, but seriously, look at the 2016 with 122,000 miles compared to the 2016 with the, look, $12,000 versus $6,000. That's twice the price. No one wants these things. And you want to know why? Because with most car like shitty, like Nissan is so good at this. They do the devil in disguise method, right? Like the song. Like, the outside of the car's fine. The inside of the car is fine. It's all great, right? You go inside, the interior is nice. This is how Kia gets away with it too. But the underside is completely thrashed and bullshit. Dodge is just the devil. I mean, the inside is terrible. The outside is terrible. The components are terrible. The car is terrible. The 0 to 60 is terrible. The performance is terrible. Everything about it is terrible. I literally find zero redeeming qualities for most of the Dodges that I have ever been in, except for the fast ones. And that's a big exception, because all of Dodge's entire brand identity, when Dodge wants to convey in their customers an idea of solidarity and brand identity, they don't bring out the Dart. They don't bring out the Avenger. They bring out the Challenger. Of course they bring out that, because no one wants these. The people that bought these are like, wow, these kind of suck. Well, at least I got to own a Dodge. They don't even want them. Why are people still buying these cars? They're just not good. And they weren't good when they came out. I mean, compared like a Dodge, like this is another thing where Kia and Nissan get the gap over other cars, right? They have Apple CarPlay. They have the surface face level shallow features that I want heated seats. They have all that crap, right? And then they get away with building the car crappily because that's what they have. Dodge doesn't even have any of that. The cars weren't good when they came out. They're not good now. And they're especially not good now all the time. Why? Why? This is a mentality that people have when buying cars, which is the worst thing you can do. Well, my parents owned a Dodge, so I'm going to buy American. Don't do that. Buy whatever car you want to buy, okay? I don't care if Suzanne Summers, whatever, likes her car. I don't care. Buy whatever you think is best, because 9 out of times, other people are morons. They are stupid people, and you do not listen to a word they say. You buy what you think is best for you, and with your own intelligence. Don't buy because, oh, well, my dad used to drive a Subaru, so I have to buy it. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. Now, for this next part, I'm going to tell a story. Picture it. Sicily, 1942. No, I'm joking. Picture it. Insert generic company name, which I can't remember from wherever I got my sources from here in like 2009. So there were these like Newsweek and all these car reviewers that were just begging to get their hands on the new Prius, right? It was brand new. It was 2009, right? And there were two news organizations that got two completely different cars. Toyota gave one of them Prius 5, and the other one gave another one a Prius like 3, like something just cheaper, just off the lot, because they were a small organization. The one that got the top level Prius, they hated it. They said it rode terrible. They said the suspension was terrible. It drove like crap. It was just bad. The other reviewer said the Prius was great. It was a fantastic value for money, and they loved the ride. You want to know what the difference was? The damn wheels. The Prius 3 had conservative 15-inch wheels. Meanwhile, the Prius 5 had, like, 17-inch wheels. That's a 2-inch difference. And, well, why would that affect the ride quality? Well, because the other one had rubber bands for tires. Of course the car's going to ride like shit when the only reason why cars have tires is to absorb the bumps. I hope you understand that. When we had, like, horse and carriages, right, with wooden wheels, they broke all the time, and they sucked, and they rode like crap, because it was wood on pebbles and stones and crap. It's not for grip. Of course it is. Partially it is, but it's for the ride quality. The rubber and the air, the reason why they're filled with air, if we just wanted grip, they would be solid rubber from one side to the other, and you could just drive your car up mountains. They would never deflate. That's what we would do, but it's for ride comfort. The reason why they're filled with air is so that it's a nice cushy base for the car to sit on. When there's barely any air in the tire, and there's barely any tire next to the rim, you might as well have wooden, gigantic cart rims on it. I am so sick of this. The Toyota Venza. The Toyota Venza got hosed. And I mean hosed. No one wanted this damn car. You want to know why? Because every reviewer out there said that it rode like shit. You want to know why the car rode like shit? Because of the wheels. Toyota hosed them. They deserved it. I don't know what they were thinking, what kind of copium they were on. Okay, this car, and I wouldn't even believe me if you told me this. I wouldn't even believe me. It came standard with 19-inch wheels. Why? What's the matter with them? And even worse, the V6 had 20-inch wheels. Even better. Everyone said that the car rode like shit. Everyone said the car was crap. Motor Trend said it rode more like an SUV than a sedan. And if you don't know why that was bad, the Venza was essentially a Camry wagon lifted higher off the ground and with a higher roof line and big doors and small windows, which was the thing. That's essentially what it was. It was just a lifted Camry wagon. They called it the Venza because wagons sucked. Back then, I think wagons are great, but we thought that wagons sucked. So they named it something else to try and pass it off to us. Almost exclusively. And also, the reason why the news coverage of this car affected it so much was because of the fact that it was a new model. The Venza was the first time the name had ever been used ever in Toyota's American lineup. Ever, in 2011. Why would people take a chance on this new car that auto reviewers are saying sucks when they can just buy a Camry that's normal? It was essentially a better version of the Camry. My aunt owns a Venza. I love that car. We're visiting her in Ohio. I love that. It's so great. Except it rides like shit. You want to know why? Because of those wheels. And Toyota didn't realize it. They canceled it in 2015 because it rode like shit and everyone said it rode more like an SUV. Why did it? Because there's barely any air in the damn tires. If I took my 15-inch Prius rims, which which I know wouldn't fit because there's a different lug shape, and put them on this car, I bet it would ride 90 million times better. Granted, the speedometer would be off and it'd rub and crap like that. But I know it would be absolutely better. I mean, it's ridiculous. Toyota hosed themselves. They just couldn't resist. And also, why do people like this? Like, what difference does it make? If you turn these rims into 15 inches, I wouldn't be able to tell the damn difference. What, you want longer spokes? Why? I don't care. How often are you looking at your wheels while you're driving the car? And I'm not advocating for the crappy, hideous wheels, because that's on the list. I'm just saying, do we really need 32-inch TV-sized rims to look at? Do we really need that? No. I'd rather have small rims and better build quality. I don't even want rims. I just want an axle that connects to one big air-filled tire. You want to know how fun that would be? I'm joking. I like the rims, actually. Yeah, seriously, it killed an entire car because Toyota wasn't careful enough and they didn't even realize it until after the fact. And you want to know how I know Toyota knew that? Because when they brought the Venza back in 2021, guess what wheel size it came with? 17 inches. Not the base 18s, not the nice 19s. No. 17-inch rims. Because Toyota learned their lesson. I don't think you realize how much an inch is. An inch is a lot. When it comes to wheels, think about that. It's a lot. And, and I know they realized their mistake, and they corrected it with the next Venza, and then had big wheels, and people complained about it. I don't know what the problem is. Speaking of Toyota, let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is lack of storage for vanity. This is such a big issue. This annoys me so much. I happen to own a 2015 Toyota RAV4 XLE all-wheel drive. And there's a nice little cubby right next to the steering wheel. Right, nice open cubby. Now, thankfully, Toyota has made the smart decision and kept their grubby little hands off it, right? They've moved it with the RAV4. But I would say that the RAV4's most common ancestor today is not the RAV4, but actually the Toyota Corolla Cross. So tell me why the Toyota Corolla Cross doesn't have a little cubby there. And can I tell you the really big kick out of everything? I know there's nothing behind there. And more importantly, they know there's nothing behind there. This is a dashboard replacement for a Corolla Cross. You see the side with that weird little box with wires sticking out of it? That's the passenger side airbag. You see what's in front of the passenger side airbag? Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing, not even a little bit. You can even see there's a mount point right there with the screw in it. It's not mounting to the engine, is it? The engine is not under there. There is nothing under there. Not a cabin air filter, nothing. There is no... all it does is just bolt to the body of the car. So why can't you just put a little indent there? They wanted to avoid putting, it could have been 1 inch deep. I'm not asking for that much. They could have put a cubby in there, and then guess what? They wouldn't have to put the little mounting point. They could just drill a hole through the back of it, put a little sticker over it, and then and no one would have known. Instead, they chose to have this big, bolt mounting point that comes out. That bolt mounting point right there proves that on the actual car, I can't find an image of it without the dashboard, proves that there's nothing behind there. Because if there was, it wouldn't be bolting 2 inches under the thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a bolt point that's 2 inches, behind the facade, right? So if there was something there, why would it be 2 inches? Why wouldn't it just bolt to whatever's there? And why is it square in the middle of it? Because if there was something there, you think it wouldn't be off to the side and only 1 inch thick. So I absolutely know that they 100% could have put it there and they chose not to. You want to know why? Because they're lazy. They were in CAD. They didn't feel like it. The parts costed too much. They just wanted big upholstery that they don't have to cut. And it doesn't matter. Toyota, wake up. Okay? Stop being so cheap and lazy. You don't deserve our money. We choose when we give you our money. So you might as well give us what we like. We're not trying to fight you, Toyota. Just give us the damn spot. Is it really this much to ask? And a sunglasses compartment. That drives me nuts. What, did we just stop having sunglasses now? Where are we supposed to put them now? They even took the little cubby that's supposed to go under there, and they made it a wireless phone charging thing so that you can't put anything there. Why? The next grievance is all hybrid cars. Toyota is essentially turning themselves into an all-niche company, almost by their own volition. What's the matter with you? And they added the starting price by $5,000. It was $23,000. Now it's $28,000. Why? Who asked for this? Who wants an all-hybrid Camry? No one wants that. I'm just gonna buy a 2007 Camry. I'm gonna buy no Camry. What? Really? And you want to know what you want to know? What about the Prius? The Prius was a one-off car, and its entire characteristic was that it was a hybrid. The Camry is Toyota's flagship sedan. There is a difference between having a one-off, weird, stylistic hatchback that's entire job is to be a hybrid, which is basically dead. It's been skinned alive, and its corpse has been scooped out with a melon baller, and now they've shoved a Camry underneath it, right? And I'm talking about the Prius, not the Camry. So that's basically dead anyway. That's a niche car. No one's going to go to the Toyota dealership like, wow, I love Toyota. I really know them for the Prius. It's the Camry. It's the Camry. Around the world, people buy the Camry. They buy the Camry. As much as Toyota refused, they put their head in the sand. Me. I don't have to make sedans. I can just make SUVs. I can just be cheap. I can just do whatever. No, Toyota. That's not how it works. And it drives me mad. Do they realize that people actually buy these cars? They're not making the cars for themselves, okay? I mean, I think how they think about making a car is how does it help the numbers, right? There is no numbers if no one buys the damn thing. I don't care about how it helps you. I don't care, okay? Make a car that people want. Get rid of the hybrid. I want a 2.4 liter gas engine. You can even put throw a turbo in. Be nice, right? And they added $5,000 onto the price tag. For what? For what? It's just as crappy as the old base Camry, except now it's a hybrid. If people want a hybrid, they can just buy the Prius hybrid. I mean, they're having some sort of mental issue, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Performative ruggedness. You see those two little buttons there underneath the two wireless charging pads? What a society we live in. The 2007 Toyota Camry didn't even have an aux jack, and now we have not one, but two wireless charging pads instead of I'd rather have storage. Why? Anyway, this is really ridiculous. I say this all the time. People make rules, they enforce things, they do things without realizing why we did them in the first place. You see those two little buttons there that are raised out towards the driver? It's not even a knob. Why? Why are you presenting the buttons to me on a silver platter? So that if you have work gloves on, you can't twist it. You can push the buttons just as easy if they were an inch closer into the dashboard. Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. And also, if you look at the volume knob at the top of the screen, it's tiny. If you're wearing work gloves, you're not gonna be able to reach that anyway. And you want to know what the 2024 Toyota Camry, as much as I think it's stupid, as much as I think that it's absolutely useless, it gets a pass. Why? Because you can actually twist the stupid knobs. The only reason why that even makes sense to have bigger knobs is so that you can twist them with work gloves. And you want to know who I blame? I blame the 2008 Toyota Highlander who originally pioneered the idea of having massive knobs for the elusive reason that people with work gloves can twist them. Why? Do they even care? Who is driving a Toyota Highlander as their work vehicle? And who can't just take the gloves off inside of the car? And also, you can open the door handle with the gloves on. It's called Don't Be Insane. Also, with the work gloves, are you also going to want to drive with the work gloves as well? It's not the inside of a tractor. It's not the inside of a forklift. It's a car. Even better question. Who is driving a Toyota RAV4 as a work car? I drive the Toyota RAV4. It's more of a hatchback than anything. I am sad for the construction worker who shows up to the job site with a Toyota RAV4, because I'm sure he gets laughed off the site if he brought a Toyota RAV4 to that, okay? No one's asking for this. Toyota, it's okay. I know you're trying really hard just to do anything, anything, just trying. You're so tired of walking around in circles. But just make normal cars, okay? Just bring the 2007 Toyota Camry back. Put CarPlay in it, and no one will be able to tell the difference. Trust me, give it some better hubcaps, too, because sheesh, those were bad. Anyway, yeah, moving on. And the next thing is big DRLs, or DRLs at all. The new Hyundai Palisade, I'm driving in Ohio, and for some reason they love Hyundais. It's ridiculous. And I saw one of these things behind me, I'm like, what the hell is that? Because the DRLs are huge. You see those 5 bars next to the headlights? You can't even tell what's part of the car and what's part of not the car. It's so ugly. And this is all of Hyundai Kia. I'm not even going to say why it's terrible, because you should already know if you watch this channel. Don't buy it. Why? Why do we need DRLs this big? Why? You really don't understand. I don't understand why someone would want that. I happen to own a 2015 Toyota RAV4 XLE all-wheel drive. It's a car that I've recently acquired, so I can't shut the hell up about it. Okay, I'm sorry. I've never talked about this much about a car. Okay, and the annoying part is, this is from the RAV4 forums, but I have a blue car. It's blue crushed metallic, just like this one. And it has daytime running lights. And it's just, the turn signals stay vaguely on. Why? All it does is muddle when the turn signals are on. And what do you need daytime running lights for? Okay, I thought it was ridiculous when you told me that people are too stupid to not drive over the line and you need to go beep, 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 beep. I thought it was stupid. The backup cameras are useful, I'll say that. I thought it was stupid when you needed to include parking sensors because people don't know where the hell their car is, because no one learns to get acclimated to the car, because everyone just wants to jump in the seat, shift into drive, press on the pedal, and make the car go forward, right? And now you're telling me people can't open their damn eyes? It's daytime. Why do you need daytime running lights? Your car is visible. It's right there. I know where my car is. I mean, are you seriously? If you're telling me that people can't open their eyes when we're driving, Houston, we have a problem, okay? If you cannot find another car during the daylight, you should not be driving. And you want to know what that's the truth. If you cannot see another car, you should not be driving. And you know what the truth is? Oh, but sometimes it gets rainy and misty outside. That's when you turn on your damn headlights. Why? And if you want, well, I need a little bit of extra illumination. That's what the hell fog lights are for. Do you know how to use fog? Do you know even how to use do you even know what your car is? Oh, I don't know, I just put the seat into it. Like, guys, you should be able to see other cars on the road. And like, oh, well, it helps you know the size of the approximate vehicle. First of all, we have side marker lights that usually light up, or are reflective at least, on the front and back. One amber and one orange. One amber and one red. That way you can tell which the front and the back is. So, I really don't understand what DRLs at all. I had that on my car. I turned that shit off. Why would I want that? Yeah, what I want is to have my turn signal stay on the entire time. That way when they turn on, they can flash ever so bright. Maybe just a little bit brighter. Just that way people get confused which way I'm turning and can't see what the hell I'm trying to do. Great, that's what I want. Why do we need them this big? You have headlights on your car for a reason. I don't get it. This one, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm lame, maybe I don't get it. We don't need DRLs at all. We especially don't need big DRLs because you have headlights. Jump scare, there's much more to talk about. Interiors. I don't know what, okay, let's get into it. Wrinkly leather versus taut leather, and you can see the difference. You see the photos on the left-hand side, one with the wrinkly leather and the one with the straight leather. They're from the same car. One is a 2016 Honda CR-V, and one is a 2015 Honda CR-V. That's right, with the update, they pulled the leather taut, and they made it perforated. I hate perforated leather, but we'll get to that in a minute. Why? Because it saves on costs. Think about it. If you have nice, wrinkly, luxurious leather compared to taut leather, which material are you going to use less of? Well, with the taut material, you're not using as much of it because it's taut. There's no wrinkles. Every wrinkle represents an extra, like, tiny little millimeter of leather that you could use more, right? Why? Why do people want that? See, you want to know what the issue is? You know when you get into a leather seat and they break really hard and you slide out of your seat, like you slide forward? That's because the leather isn't wrinkly. We had I've sat in cars with wrinkly leather before, and everyone seems to hate it. But you want to know what the nice part is? When you sit down, the wrinkles unfold, and they become taut, and they hold your body, and you fill out the chair, right? Like for an office chair. You want to know why the fabric is so nice and cushy, and it's a lot of times wrinkly? Like the office chair that I'm sitting in right now, there's wrinkles everywhere. You want to know why? Because when you sit down, it conforms to your body. Wouldn't you want the same thing for your car? The only reason why they did that was to try to convince us that it looks sleeker, even though it looks like shit. And also, it's just a cheap cash grab to use less material. It's like sitting on school bus seats, like that school bus seats right there. Is that what you want for your car interior? Just this taut, disgusting, fake crap, just cheapingly stapled all over? No one wants that. And the other thing is the difference between cloth to fabric interiors. Cloth interiors, they're like velour. They're nice. They're comfortable. Fabric interiors is a dryer sheet stretched as far as it could with the hardest, most difficult bolstering you could ever imagine. You see the two third and second rows of a Honda Odyssey there? That's what I think it should be. The leather interiors should be crinkly, and the fabric should be velour. They should be comfortable, wrinkly velour, so that when you sit down, again, it conforms to your body. Okay? It should not be, and you see that corner at the top right? No one wants that. No one wants to sit in their car and feel like one of those cheap, shitty gaming chairs where you feel like you can't get comfortable, you know? No one wants that for their car. Go back to velour. Go back to make nice things again. I shouldn't have to say that. Can we just get it together? Also, black interiors. I hate black interiors. I hate it. They make the headliner black. They make the carpet black. They make everything black. Everything black. I just feel like I'm in solitary confinement. I feel like I've been put in the hole. I sit down, I'm like, I'm getting claustrophobic sitting in the back of your car. What the hell's the matter with you? Why would you want that? What? And what's wrong with tan? I don't want a tan car interior. They're for old people. Maybe old people are right this time, okay? Maybe you should take your arrogance, you should throw it away, you should sit in your crinkly, nice tan leather interior and go, wow, I'm glad I didn't get that black cloth bullshit interior that they tried to sell me. That's all I have to say. And also perforated leather. I hate that. The reason why you want leather is because it's durable. So why would you put holes in it? And you want to know why they had to you want to know why the crinkly leather wasn't perforated and the non-perforated leather, that, that really taut stuff, that stuff with the perforations in it, you want to know why they had to put the holes in it? Because, you sit on leather and it, just bakes. Your legs go bake. You put your legs on and you have to lift them up like you're like a pig baking in the sun. And when you sit down and you get swamp ass because you've been sitting on this leather chair, that's why they have to put the holes in there. If the leather is wrinkly and it doesn't conform to you fully like saran wrap like the other one does, you don't need the holes because it doesn't stick to you 100%. It holds you in the areas that hold you best. But other than that, it doesn't care. It just doesn't care. And that's why you don't need the holes. Okay, no perforated leather, no black interiors. Let's be real here. What are we talking about? Okay, let's make actual really good cars. Because it's not like we don't have the technology. We could build another Taj Mahal. We could build the Louvre. We have the technology. We have the people. We just refuse to do good things. I think we should stop doing that. I know, very controversial. All right, let's wrap this up, and then we'll go into honorable mentions. We're talking about din-din, and I don't mean dinner. I mean single din and double din. This was a system of car radio sizes that were standardized in around the 1970s to the 1990s. You had single din, which was one din. It was 7 inches by an inch, 1.5 or 2 inches. And then you had double din, which was not really quite double, but it was 3 inches instead of 2. So you got an extra inch and a half, I think, something like that, right? And now we've gone away with that. You see that Corolla up there? You think that uses single or double din? No, because every radio now is custom. The Toyota Avalon back in the day, the 2008, used this weird radio setup thing that just, it was all entirely custom, and people mocked it relentlessly. You're never going to be able to change the radio. This thing is a piece of shit. This is going to be outdated in 2 years. You're never going to be able to change it. And they were right. Even with the Camry, the 2007 Toyota Camry, it used a weird, it was tapered at the sides, it was a trapezoid. It was weird, rounded, spherical shit. It was weird. Just look it up. And all the radio kits for that are are double din or single din, and they just have a facade that goes around it, right? With these new cars, you can't even do that. They just stick up. You're going to have to make completely an entirely new replacement radio for every single model of car. And you want to know why they do this? Because that's what they want you. Instead of going on eBay and going, oh yeah, this Pioneer piece of shit looks fine, I'm going to throw this in my car. They don't want you doing that, right? Because they don't make any money. They want you to walk into Toyota service department and go, please help me, I'm incompetent. I need you to get me a brand new 2007 Toyota Camry HD radio on the button. That's what they want you to do, okay? Don't do that. Don't give in. Just say, you want to know what? Screw this. I'm not buying a car that's not din or double din. And they don't have to look like crap either. But you want to know what they forced? And this is my favorite thing. 2 birds with 1 stone. They also forced the car companies to stop doing that stupid, annoying thing where they make the screen stick 2 feet out of the dashboard. I don't care. The screen should not be entertaining. I don't look at my screen ever. You want to know what we should do? We should get rid of the screens. We should just do that. All navigation should be done through the driver's gauge cluster. Because why is the passenger navigating? Why are they doing that? I'm the one driving, not them. The car doesn't drive itself. The passenger doesn't drive the car. I drive the car. No one else needs to know what I'm doing except for me, myself, and I. That's it. I don't want a stupid screen. You're going over the double yellow. I don't want that. I drive the car. You don't drive the car. I drive the car. This is my car. I paid for it. And unless you're willing to cough up the money and buy yourself back from me and free yourself, that ain't happening anytime soon. All right? I'm so sick of it. And another thing. Radios in cars. What happened to that? I think we should just kill the screens. You can have screens in nicer trim levels, but on the base model, you should have a manual transmission and a radio. Because if you're going to drive a car, I like the manual transmission because it forces incompetent people to actually learn something for once in their lives. If you want to drive a car, this is the thing. If you are not acclimated, if you're a teenager, right, or if you're really cheap, if you're not good with money, right, you're not good with anything, or you're just incompetent, the car you buy should be hard to drive, because then you learn how to drive. You should not buy a comfy, pillowy palace with a pea under your seat, which you can feel from 10 miles away. That's not the car that you should be driving. You should learn to drive first. These cars are forcing it so that people don't know how to drive anymore. That's why, because the car does everything for you. the car doesn't drive it. I drive the car. I can't emphasize how much that annoys me. These cars think that they know everything. These people that think that they know, no. I can drive the car however I damn well please, as long as I'm not breaking the law, of course. And also, you don't need a screen. I mean, you really don't. You can just take the radio, you can plug your phone in, you can go to Spotify, you can play all of Elton John's songs, you can play whatever song you want, and it'll sound fine. And if you had, what I think the best combo is digital gauge cluster, and not entirely digital, because again, that'll make it into the finals, but like partially digital gauge cluster, like maybe a graph or one of them, and then just a radio. I think that'd be fine. All right, now into honorable mentions. All right, just things that peeve me that aren't really worth extending the video to a full hour, which is what I was planning. See, aren't you glad I didn't do that? Or aren't you glad? Okay, I'm not going to do that. All right, lack of a third row. Why? If the Toyota RAV4 could have a third row in 2009, it can have one in 2024. That's what I decree. Every car, the Venza, everything, they should all have a third row. The wagons, especially. Any car with a decent back seat should have a third row, even if you're not going to use it. Every car should have a spare tire. That's another thing. A full spare. Or a donut, at best. No tire repair kits. That should be illegal according to the law. No. You're not selling me some cheap thing, some cheap donut that's going to shit up my transmission. No. I want a full-size spare, and guess what? I want it to be a fifth wheel to the car. I want it to match the other wheels, right? There we go, Toyota. You want to know? Because I'm sick of you. I'm sick of your crap. Because they play these games with us. They think that we're going to buy the car no matter what. That's not how this works. That's not how this works anymore, okay? People can barely afford food. You know that? Charles, people can barely afford food. Toyota, not everyone has to buy your cars. You are not entitled to our business. You make cars for us. If I say I want a sunglasses holder, you better put the damn sunglasses holder, because otherwise I'm not gonna buy the car, because I don't have to. You're not owed my purchase of anything. You deserve nothing. That's how I feel. I agree. The more older I get, the out of my teens I get, I understand that Abby Lee Miller was really not the villain, because some of these people, they need to grow the hell up, because I know the adults that they're going to turn into, and I know how annoying and wretched they are. Anyway, so again, lack of storage, lack of rear seat space. Kia and Hyundai are probably not going to be on this final list because they deserve a video of their own for their stupidity. Big touchscreens. You don't need a big touchscreen. The touchscreen should not be entertaining. Digital gauge clusters. The lack of artistry. Guys, those like 2000s gauge clusters where it was like you had two small ones on the side and two big ones in the middle, and then in the middle you had a little circular black and white display in the middle that you could flip through with your steering wheel. Bring those back. And you remember when a Toyota Camry's gauge cluster was artfully designed? You had the swooping lines, the indentations, the outdentations, the screens. You could tell that they were proud of their work. LEDs lighting up in cool, fun ways. Fully digital gauge clusters like the Prius. Now everything is insert big screen with letters on all sides here. Yeah, they're too lazy. They don't even put the lights in. The lights are part of the screen as well. The little arrow lights. So you're telling me, and also another thing, if you're going to include a digital dashboard, it should be OLED. If you don't know what OLED is, the OLED difference is that it's a big difference, but I'll just explain to you what the outcome is. The parts of the screen that are black, unlike the screen that you're probably watching, if it's not OLED, if I were to put like a black square, the black square would look like navy blue, because it's really hard to make it out of pixels, right? Making pixels and combining colors to make black is really, really difficult. You'll make like a brown or like a navy, right? That's how they do it with clothes. They make a really dark navy, and then when you wash it a few times, it slowly turns blue over time. It'll turn your other clothes blue too, because that's the dye that they use. OLED turns the pixels off, so it's black, so it's just black and white. The pixels are off. There's no light behind that. And when I get into a car with a digital gauge cluster that's not OLED, which nearly none of them are, because remember, it's a crash grab. They don't put in the digital gauge cluster to be nice to you. They put in the digital gauge cluster because Bob didn't want to do his damn job, and he just said, I want to take the screen from the head unit and put it there and call it a day. No, Bob. Get your ass back up there and do your damn job. I'm so sick of just people and the car industry thinking they can get away with whatever they want to. Because at the end of the day, they really can't. No, they should be OLED, because every car that I get into with a digital gauge cluster, I'm flashbanged in the middle, bing! And if you turn the brightness down, everything gets darker. Like here, I just made it black, so you can see it there. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all real soon.